Tell me when. What? Here? It is also left. Man, tell me when. All right, and welcome back to Limited Exposure Club. Right now, we're coming up with our next artist, GEO METRO. He plays some Vaporwave, some lo-fi house, and other experimental music. A dope lad he is, dope indeed. Now we're going to kick it off pretty soon. If you have any questions, make sure to hit us up in the chat, and enjoy your time. Let's kick it off. GEO METRO.
I'm The moon's gravitational pull generates a tidal force. Time is caused by gravity of moon and sun pulling at the sea. Magnetic attraction. Hypnotic.
Captivating.
Hypnotic.
Captivating.
Alluring. Hypnotic.
Captivating.
Alluring.
Give me your liver, and I'll give you my heart. Heart, heart. Give me your liver, and I'll give you my heart. Heart, heart. Give me your liver, and I'll give you my heart. Heart, heart. Give me your liver, and I'll give you my heart, heart, heart. Give me your liver, and I'll give you my heart, heart, heart. Give me your liver, and I'll give you my heart, heart, heart. Give me your liver, and I'll give you my heart, heart, heart. Give me your liver, and I'll give you my heart, heart, heart. Give me your liver, and I'll give you my heart, heart, heart. Give me your liver, and I'll give you my heart, heart, heart.
Heavy on my back. Some sympathy. Fighting that. Look at me. Let me go. Let me go.
It's nice.
Also, are there other things for me to shake? If we're gonna do this, like,
All right,
just
well,
give me a bevy.
you
Just
go.
throw shit at me.
Yeah,
Just,
all right, start going.
just fuck my shit up, fam. Just fuck my shit
ASMR.
up.
Let's go.
Welcome to my ASMR video. God, that was the weirdest thing I think I've ever done in my life.
What they have? Hello. Hey, hey, hey. Here we are back with Limited Exposure Club. How you doing, Geo Metro?
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So how'd you feel your set went? How was it? How'd you like it?
It was. I got asked to do this just a little bit earlier today, and so as far as just something together quick and fun, and not really worrying too much about it. I'm pretty happy with it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I'm really grateful I got the chance to do it. So, thank you.
Word. Well, I definitely enjoyed it. Joffrey over here definitely enjoyed it right now. You know what I'm saying? We dug it. We kicked it. You know what I'm saying? But tell me, is this your first experience with something like this? And if so, how'd you like it?
I mean, with regards to like a filmed kind of thing.
Streaming in an undisclosed location with
Yeah.
an online audience.
Yeah. This is some like next level like translucent Y2K kind of shit, and I'm really impressed by it. I don't think I haven't done something of this level before. This is like a really cool pro setup, and it's clear that everybody involved here really gives a shit, and like the production of this and making this a nice thing, which is awesome, as like a community service, right, for everybody here in the neighborhood and the city. So no, it's really cool. But yeah, this is the first time I've done something like this. So it's cool. It's kind of weird, like not being able to see like immediate reactions from people and like read that. So I don't know if I'm trash or not.
No, you were fantastic. Let me
Sick.
tell you. You only put him to death. No, I'm playing. But yeah, so then what was your first thought when somebody was like, "Hey, come do this thing"? What was your initial reaction to that?
I mean, this is why I'm so grateful on any given day to know Chris, Skeleton Lipstick, and just kind of be in this neighborhood, in the city, and involved with all of you fine folks. I mean, because this is the kind of thing that just kind of pops up, right, and is a nice little like sprinkle of something interesting on your life. So
Right.
it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's an undisclosed
Yeah.
location in an undisclosed city.
Like
right now, we
yeah.
could
I
be
mean,
anywhere.
I mean, I'm drunk, so I thought we were on the Satellite of Love in space with Mike Nelson, Crow T Robot, and all the old Mystery Science Theater cats. I didn't know where we were, but now I know that it's nowhere.
Yeah,
it's nowhere.
The psychedelic feeling of your music.
It's
dog.
beyond space. It's beyond time. Yeah,
It's beyond everything.
Yeah.
It's between space and time.
yeah. It's a void slip. It's real cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. So yeah, tell me how you got your name Geo Metro. Where did that come from?
Oh, I mean, just purely by accident. Like I was, like the house DJ at this little spot up in New Haven, Connecticut, and it was really cool people, but kind of a weird scene. But I ended. They gave me the opportunity to do like a vaporwave and like kind of like left field electronic bass night, and I didn't have a name, and so I just wrote something on like the little board outside in chalk one night, just making some shit up, and I kind of liked it because like with the crowd that was there, I was like, well, for anybody like too young to remember that, it might sound like some like nondescript like kind of like Euro shit that you see on like a club poster, right? Like some fucking dude from like Sweden or something, you would think it's like something like that, but anybody old enough would know like it's a garbage economy car, which I love actually. And I was the proud owner of a '97 Geo Prism. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Yeah, brake lines went on it, but that's why everybody should learn to drive stick shift, because when those brake lines went, man, that engine braking, it saved my life.
Hold up a second. You just said the brake lines, right?
Oh yeah.
So who cut them? What enemies do you have?
Neglect and abuse. But the fact that it lasted, I mean, clearly they hadn't been looked at, since it was built. So whoever owned it had been like fucking off-roading in their Geo Prism, which God bless them. That's what they should be doing in a '97 Geo Prism.
Bless up.
Right.
Yeah. So question. What do you feel is something that is extremely overrated?
Oh man, I don't know. Everything's pretty cool, I guess. I'm pretty enthusiastic about most things. I don't like Rick and Morty. I never liked Rick and Morty, but like now I'm starting to see. But now I'm starting to see like stuff come up about Rick and Morty, right? So it's like, like fuck, I can't say anything about it now, right? Because I'm just jumping on the bandwagon. So like I don't know, maybe like socially, I guess I have to at least know about it, right?
Sure.
Like
Sure.
But yeah, when I started seeing that come up in the the social media feeds, like of people just finally realizing just how fucking pickle Rick. No, man. No, that was garbage on site. It never stopped me. I'm glad that everybody else is catching up to it now. So yeah, shit was always overrated. Also, I never understood why people ever liked tropical house music. I never understood that. It was like, I mean, just as soon as I guess I heard it after I had discovered watching like unboxing videos on YouTube, and like that's like the default music for like any unboxing video, especially if whoever is doing the unboxing video is from like Malaysia. They go to like tropicalhouse.com and just like buy whatever the fuck is like the top hit there, and that's the background of like the Galaxy S10. It has all these features. Check out its camera, that kind of shit. So I don't know, like since that was the first mental association I made with Tropical House, now like when I imagine like people going to a Tropical House like concert, it's it's like a Best Buy event, or it's like takes place in like a Best Buy store, because like that's all inextricably linked to each other, in my mind now.
See, I feel like people who like Tropical House also wear Hawaiian shirts, unironically.
That's kind of shaky ground though, because I mean I've known some real some real demons that have looked like that, but I've also known some real treasures, So that's a tough one. You got to take Hawaiian shirts as they come.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. I mean, okay, you're right. Some
I
of
mean,
them,
really,
some
yeah.
of them are right.
Because sometimes,
True,
like as soon
true.
as you see that, like that's trouble coming at you from a fucking mile away. You know that. But sometimes it's like sometimes it's like on the dude that like he's just a solid dude, like drives a Chevy pickup, right? Like some sick Oakleys on. Like that guy's fine. He's
True.
fine. He can do his thing. Like like it's always good to know dudes like that and like be on their good side and be homies with them, because then you get access to a truck constantly, and like if you're out of beer, you'll probably end up getting beer if you hang out. Sometimes Hawaiian shirts can work out for you.
All right, you're right. You're right. Also, for the viewers, just heads up, send your questions, and I'd be happy to ask GEO METRO almost any question you
Yeah.
have. Almost being the key word. Wink, wink.
Wink.
Follow up. What is something that is underrated for you? Hawaiian shirts. No, I'm playing.
No. Well, I mean, I guess sort of in a similar world, bossa nova, like Brazilian jazz. Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like Antonio Carlos Jobim. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Stoneflower
was
is
it Juan Jor Ben Hojor? I can't remember his name.
Like it's all on my shit. Like
Yeah.
I always sound like a jerk when I'm trying to pronounce it, because
Yeah, man,
I
for
don't know what
sure.
it is, but like Antonio Carlos Jobim, the albums Wave and Stoneflower will completely change your life. It's just the most delicate, intentional, and powerful fucking like all those things in one. And just I don't know, it's really like that whole genre. It's really beautiful to see like what a collection of like skilled, spirited musicians can do when they're at the disposal of like one band leader, right? That's got like, because like a dude like Jobim, right, or like Getz, right? If he wanted, it'd be like, all right, I'm gonna hire this, this string section, right? And he's gonna know how to just throw them their part real quick and get them to do exactly what they want. And I think that we kind of lose sight of that, like especially today with Ableton, right, and whatever, and you can just have like a million tracks, right? But you think about how like next level genius somebody has to be to just like hire a room full of motherfuckers for the day and just be like, here you go, and then you just get a beautiful pop song out of it.
Right.
Yeah, so Bossa Nova, highly underrated. Vince Guaraldi too.
Yes. The Vince Guaraldi trio.
Yeah,
son.
Outside of, I mean, of course, the whole Peanuts soundtrack is brilliant, legendary, right? But like, you can go on YouTube and there's a recording he did of a live set with Bolasete, which is one of the most just beautiful, effortless performances I've ever seen. All of his like non-Charlie Brown shit is unbelievable.
You ever heard of Sergio Mendes?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's another one.
There's a couple of GEO Metro tracks. The sample is based around Sergio Mendes.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I also have an alter ego, Bonneville, that put out an album on Virtua 94, which is an excellent Philly Vaporwave label. And every single track on it was either Bolasete sample, Sergio Mendes, or Vince Guaraldi, the whole thing, or Bobby Caldwell.
All right.
Yeah. So
Word,
good
word,
stuff,
yeah. Bossa Nova, also a really good movie if ever get a chance to watch it.
No, never
Dope.
seen it,
Good,
but I
good
totally
movie.
will. Yeah.
We do have a question
What's
from
up?
Dakota Ring. Holla at your boy.
So
The question is, top 3 dictators.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh jeez. Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin. Lord Humongous. Mad Max absolutely qualifies as. I mean, what's the line between warlord and dictator, right? When does one become the other? You only know in retrospect. So,
true.
using that lens of history, I'll fucking say Lord Humongous was a dictator. Sure, I'm sure he did. He did great before he got to that point. And oh god, who else? I don't know. Probably whoever is in charge of like I don't know much about like Warhammer or like the Warhammer universe, which are like these little
Yeah, no, I love Warhammer. Spray paint, air paint, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So that's a world that like I know that there's like there's some kind of like ultra imperialist like dictator right in like that storyline. I don't know much about it, but it's one of those like fandoms where it's like, all right, like I don't have the time or money to invest in you, but I
if I
totally
did.
get why you're into that.
Yes.
Cool, respect that. I can't do that with every fandom. Some of them just like, yo, that's lame, dork. But Warhammer, I can totally get down on that.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for me, my top 3 dictators, Skeletor, number 1.
Oh, God.
I do dig Skeletor.
Classic. Yeah.
Number 2, Bugs Bunny. And
Yeah,
that dude's a dictator. He
oh,
really is.
man. Okay. Yeah.
And the last
forgot
one
about that.
is the mushroom from Super Mario Brothers.
Wait, Toad?
Yeah. No. Is that his name, Toad?
Yeah.
The guy with
wait,
the little mushroom head?
yeah. He was a dictator?
Yeah, man. Look,
Oh,
that
no,
motherfucker is
no,
pulling
I
shit
know,
from the
I know,
background.
I know.
He's pulling shit from the background. I don't trust his happy ass.
Well, he did have who is it? Princess Toadstool's dad, right? Who's the King Toadstool? Like he's a straight up a mushroom, right? So, I don't remember what Princess Toadstool's mom looks like, but whatever went on there, like
Some crazy stuff.
God bless that
Some
mom.
crazy stuff.
Like that is an open-minded woman. Just be like,
Yes.
what's up, mushroom? I mean, but he's a king, so I guess he's got it like that. It doesn't matter if you're a mushroom.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what is your origin story when it comes to the music scene?
Oh man. Well, it was a while. I mean, I grew up in Waterbury, Connecticut, playing in awful hardcore bands, and then at some point I went away to the Navy actually, and so that's when I got into doing stuff on Ableton, right, working in electronic stuff, because when you're on a ship, that's about all the space you have. About all you can fit in your rack is a laptop, right? So that limits pretty much everything. And it was cool because I was deploying to Japan sort of around the same time that like the first sort of Vaporwave albums were coming out. And so I got to listen to a lot of that early stuff, like in the actual, locations that were being fetishized by the music, and by the whole aesthetic of it. And so it all, fit nicely and wonderfully. Band Death Dynamic Shroud has an album called some stuff, and then Online, and it's based out of like samples from the game Shenmue, and that takes place in Yokosuka, Japan, which is right where like the big Navy base is. So I was like listening to that while I was walking around, like all the places in Yokosuka, Japan. Just when I would get off work for the day, which were the same locations that when I was like 14, 15, I was, pumping hundreds of hours into Shenmue, walking virtually. So everything kind of came together weirdly and cool like that. eventually I came here to Philly because
Undisclosed location.
eventually I came here to the void, to the nether realm. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm so mad. No, I'm playing.
Okay.
It's all good.
I came here to the nether realm and met Chris, and there's a whole scene in the nether realm for for that kind of stuff, of people that were all sort of mutually, interestingly enough, mutually connected by this guy, Paul Geisinger, aka the producer Starkey, awesome grime IDM producer, who, like most of like the big vaporwave dudes in the nether realm here, like have studied directly under, like, at the community college of the nether realm. Yeah. Runs the program there. Awesome, brilliant dude. So we all sort of kind of loosely knew each other from that. And then, everybody's, ins and, connections would sort of, it's cool because everybody sort of helps each other out in a way that I really haven't seen since, like when I was, in like the 2000s hardcore kind of shit, where it was like, it was real DIY and real, kind of family community oriented. So, Chris got going at the NetherRealm bar with Terminally Chill, and, had all of us at one point or another come through there and DJ and perform. And that kind of just naturally built its own community, because, a lot of this stuff, right, people consume so much of it online, and it hadn't really moved into sort of an in real life space until Chris kind of connected a lot of people, and then that moved out too into other branches too. Like there's Sleepwalker Philly, which is an awesome like visual design studio, or Sleepwalker NetherRealm. And they, like do the flowers every time for the Terminally Chill party, and and they're all connected in some way. So it's cool. Everybody's kind of helping everybody. It's neat.
All right. So before we sign out, got 2 more questions for you. First, who are your top 3 saints?
Top 3 saints. Simeon the Holy Fool, because he was an absolute madman. Yeah, he dragged a dead dog around with him.
Cool.
In the ancient city of Smyrna. But he would do that specifically when like the king or somebody like rich and haughty was like kind of having like a big overblown like official function. He would just kind of like drag himself naked like by his haunches, like dragging his dead dog like right in front of. Like, it's the equivalent of like somebody like throwing feces at the president today.
Word.
But then like he
Or
turns
shoes.
Right, or shoes. But then all of a sudden, but if that person that just did that then turned around and told the press like, all the real dirt on Epstein, right? Like, had like the vision.
He
right,
didn't
to
kill
do that.
himself.
Yeah, not at all. But yeah, so he was real cool. He really, class warrior right there, my man. Saint Isidore the Labor and his wife Maria, that counts as 2, who were just purely workers, just a little couple in Spain, hundreds of years ago, and they're just as beautiful, as Simeon was, because even though they weren't as eccentric, they were honest and they were pure, and they were Isidore the Laborer. What a beautiful epitaph to have attached to your name for the rest of time. Like,
Word.
like, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's
For
what I
me,
did,
I would say, what's his name? The Saint of Thieves. I can't remember his name, but he was the Saint of Thieves. Then the Saint of Killers, which is in a comic book called Preacher. And the last one is Saint Lazarus.
Yeah.
What's up?
Right out.
Located in a city that we're not located in. What's good?
True.
Yeah, and then one more real quick. Preferred potato format from the homie Sleepy Naga.
Really like harshly fried hash browns, like harshly fried, like deep fried bacon fat fried hash browns, supreme god tier potatoes.
Word.
Absolutely. Or there was some John I had around somewhere. They fried the fries in duck fat, and that oh my god, that's
That
amazing.
duck fat.
Yeah, I don't remember what that was, but yeah, the fat of the duck is
Yas, bitch. Yas. All right. So,
it's good.
in that, do you have any closing notes you'd like to give to the audience?
No, please take care of each other during this time, and don't forget. The government's going to get around to helping everybody whenever they can, but if look at how much money you have, and if your rent's paid, don't wait for the government to do it. If you know somebody that needs help, especially like a friend that's an artist, right? Somebody that works on commission, right? Anybody that works as like an independent contractor, help them out, right? Just give them money, just do it right now, because you can help them like right now.
Right.
Don't wait for, don't wait and like complain on Twitter, that like nobody's doing anything. Like, you can survive like really well off like a pound of butter and a bag of rice for like a week, and I promise you're not going to die. You'll be fine. Everything beyond that is luxury, and always keep that in mind. So help everybody around you out as much as you can right now.
Amen,
Yeah.
amen.
Yeah.
And I guess on that note, I have almost no money, but I have an OnlyFans with Here Joffrey, so check us out. All right, and on to the next one. Check out our next commercial. See you soon.